I'm going to talk about this crossover between politics and Hollywood for a minute. So, let me pull up this tweet. The Alan Ritchson, I don't know how to say his name, the Reacher star, gave this interview to GQ where he specifically talked about Matt Gaetz. It was kind of a long interview. I have the GQ article pulled up over here, but the quote that Variety was highlighting today on X is, Alan Ritchson says, "It's shocking to me that the panhandle of Florida continues to vote for somebody knowing everything we know about him and the promises he's made behind closed doors about pardoning certain criminals. He's just not a good dude," the actor told GQ. "There's a part of me that wants to get into politics and outdo somebody like him for good. And there's a part of me that's like, I'm not duplicitous enough to succeed in politics." In the interview, hold on, let me pull this up really quickly. The conversation about Gaetz is sort of funny. I guess they went to school together. The actor says, so Gaetz
they went to school with my friend Toby Tobuscus, who also was one of the most prominent schools ever. Yeah, we have Toby. Toby actually, vagabond and lived homelessly in my house for about 2 months. Non-consensually, but we got one of his furries above here in exchange for that. So it was probably a CIA school that all of them went to.
Wow. The actor called, it starts with the actor calling the former congressman that motherfucker. We are adversaries. I don't know if I can say curse on here. And so before you say that, it doesn't feel natural. I'm not cool when I curse.
Funny.
I don't even have the bleep button. Jeremy's gonna fire me.
There's children watching. There's children watching there.
You know, I didn't say that the actor
feel like it doesn't even feel like a cuss word when you say it.
That's how classy I am. So this article or this quote got posted by Variety, and Matt Gaetz responded to it. He said, "Hollywood apparently changes people. Alan was a year behind me in high school, and we were both on the speech and debate teams. We were not, quote, adversaries, as I won debate championships and Alan did more acting stuff. As I recall, his older brother Eric was won more often than Alan did. He was always very nice to me and everyone, and his mother and the computer lab monitor, the computer lab monitor, loved me. At her invitation, I even went to his dad's retirement party from the Air Force. It was held at a karaoke bar called Lubos in Niceville, where his dad sang Sitting on the Dock in the Bay. I sang Centerfold." Were you guys expecting this kind of Hollywood? I guess he's not totally politics anymore. This crossover?
I just think it's funny whenever actors really get super political. I guess in this case, he does have some background of being on the debate team and stuff, but it looks like he didn't stick with that. But it just seems so random. And I know with like Donald Trump to a degree, it was like, what, Donald Trump's getting in politics? Like when it first started happening, but it did make more sense in the fact that, okay, this is a businessman, right? This is a businessman who is very intelligent in this area and could actually help with like the US economy. But just to see an actor that's like, oh yeah, like this and that, it's like, okay.
It feels kind of random. Like he's using Matt Gaetz to score kind of like woke points with the audience here.
Right. It's hard to take him serious. That's for sure.
We're getting a lot of reports that Kash Patel was confirmed. Sorry, I'm just looking at all the breaking news here, so it's very hard to kind of talk about here. But
I'll pull it up in a second. I'm waiting for some stuff to be generated.
Yeah, but this Reacher guy, I mean, truly someone hijacked by the woke liberal kind of mindset that truly is kind of disappointing. You watch Reacher, and it's kind of a good series. And seeing him kind of espouse a lot of these woke theories, it's kind of like watching Captain America do the same. It's like, why do all the people in Hollywood have the same opinion? Like, why do they all say the same thing in unison at the same time here? It's kind of weird, but it could be akin to them just being given the talking points or being groomed to think a certain way, and them just kind of espousing a lot of this kind of nonsense out there. Matt Gaetz has done more to fight the lobbyists, the special interest groups, than I think any other politician out there. Say what you may about his personal life or his personal record or what he did behind the scenes here. As far as the work he did against Kevin McCarthy, against the swamp, it was absolutely epic and historic. So for him to be specifically attacked here just really just shows you that there could be something bigger at play here.
What do you think is going to happen to the Reacher series? Because I've heard this several times that it's something that a lot of conservatives like, but also it seems like they want to read a lot of weird politics into it.
Yeah. Well, Reacher, the guy came out and he called Donald Trump, we can't say this because we're on, YouTube there, but a guy who forces himself on women unconsensually.
Oh.
He called him a con man. According to a lot of the quotes that are attributed to him online. And it does now when you're watching Reacher, you're like, okay, this isn't the kind of persona that you think that he's kind of representing. He's someone completely different that is playing into a lot of this kind of weird mainstream media woke ideology that is more of a kind of religious doctrine to them than it is more of a kind of logical understanding. So it is something that he has been kind of hijacked by.
I think there's like some sort of combination of things, because I've seen in the gaming industry, at least, when it comes to politics and everybody who speaks about politics having the same opinion, it's because, it would be like career suicide for them to actually be right wing, right? So a lot of the outspoken people, they're safe to be outspoken if they are liberal. And so I think with Hollywood, it's much of that. But I think also Hollywood, there's an even deeper corruption there. Satan really has his grubby paws in Hollywood with all of the crazy stuff that's going on that we hear about, like Roseanne speaking about and stuff that sounds absolutely wild. But hey, you just really don't know what these kind of things, what kind of rituals or sacrifices or things that are actually happening, especially with centering around the more like really big names. Because in order to actually make it, as you can only get so famous without having to be a part of their game, right? So it's very corrupt. And so I definitely don't trust anything a Hollywood actor is going to say about politics.
What do you think of the way Matt Gaetz responded to this? Kind of out of nowhere, this guy he went to high school with years and years ago, I assume they don't hang out, talked about him in an interview and, obviously condemned him in some way. And in response, Matt Gaetz is basically like, I don't know, we did go to high school together. His family seemed nice. Like, I've had personal interactions with them that were very positive. Do you think that says more about Matt Gaetz's character or just about the need for a response that we have in this 24-hour news cycle?
I think because this is an actor who's a part of this, like, I guess, kind of big show. I haven't seen it, but I think
it's actually a good show. You should check it out.
Okay. I've heard it was, but I think because it was from a big enough name, he felt like he needed to address it. Because if this was just some, normally it doesn't help to address all of these annoying, pesky little flies that just can't keep your name out of their mouth. But if it reaches a certain level, Reacher, as this has, I guess maybe he felt like he needed to address it. And I think he did okay. It was just, okay, yeah, I know the guy. We went to high school together and on the debate team, but yeah, it didn't really go that far. So it's just like basically saying, okay, dude, like, you didn't really do that much, but all right.
It's one of the things that I find funny about X, which is like when you get these crossovers, the revelation that they went to high school together or whatever, along with Luke's friend, that suddenly like you have the opportunity to respond somewhat directly. And in this case, like what would you even say? Like, okay, you don't like me. Matt Gaetz is not in Congress anymore. He's working with One America News. It just seems sort of like this lame, random punch thrown by this guy who's trying to prove that he is woke enough to stay in his industry.
This is, it's wild, but this makes me really glad that I was homeschooled because I don't have to worry about this. It's like, unless one of my brothers decides to say something. Yeah, but I don't think they would. considering
You
we're
don't
like,
think, but you can't say for sure.
that's true. Maybe one day one of them will get woke. We'll see. But yeah, I just think that would be a huge pain to have to deal with.
I want to know what school this is, because it's like this Reacher guy's there. Matt Gaetz was there. Toby Turner was there.
Yeah.
Andrew, don't tase me, bro, was there. What's going on in this school? How are they all in the same freaking high school? What's going on here?
I mean, I bet you could find out. I'm sure the high school that Matt Gaetz went to is publicly available.
No, I know which one. I'm friends with Andrew.
like,
I'm friends with Toby. I'm friends with Matt. I'm not friends with this like Reacher guy. But
Apparently, he's one step
Toby,
away from being friends with him.
Yeah, Toby.
Yeah.
Again, uninvited, just came over, just started sleeping on my freaking couch. One day I wasn't here. He didn't have the key. He broke into my home, started drinking my vodka, and then replacing the vodka with water in there, so I wouldn't notice him
That's a
drinking
real
all
friend.
of my vodka.
That's
So-
a real
Because he was
friend.
still in
Toby
high school, I
Turner.
guess.
Toby Turner, I'm calling you out in real time.
That's
Look,
a
I have his
good friend.
Tobuscus
That's
thing.
how you know
Hold on.
you're a
I
good
gotta-
friend.
I have his Tobuscus.
Oh,
this
I
is what I
love
got.
it.
Where's the thing? I think you like hug him. Wait, do you squeeze him? He makes some kind of noise. Where's? Yeah. Yeah. This guy right here. Freaking, I can't believe him.
That
I
is
can't forgive
so
him.
funny.
And then my friends are, because I don't drink, but my friends are like, hey, why does your vodka taste like water? And then Toby starts laughing. He's like, oh yeah, I drank it all and filled it up with water. Thanks, Toby. Thank you.
Hilarious.